weekend was a fun one, but we move on to the next round. The divisional round of the NFL playoffs was going on, y'all. Five Sports Talk back at it with another video, talking, of course, some NFL playoffs with you guys, here to bring you guys my predictions and basically my preview as well of the next round of the NFL playoffs. And it was a good week for FST picks. If you guys follow me on Twitter for that. Link down below, okay? Make sure you guys go follow me, hit me up, okay? Let's talk football. If you guys have followed me, you should know that I picked, if I got 3 out of my 4 picks right. I picked the Titans to upset the Chiefs, and that ended up happening. And, you know, people on Twitter hit me up and said, Faiz, how did you pick this upset? Well, if you watch my video, I basically said, listen, it was pretty simple for me. I trusted Marcus Mariota. Both defenses were quite awful, and it was basically just picking Mariota over Alex Smith to know who is going to basically come out on top. And I'm not going to sit here and hold my head up high and say, oh my God, I knew the Titans were going to win. Of course, there were points in that game where I thought, you know, obviously my pick was looking foolish. Travis Kelce going out for the Chiefs hurt a lot, okay? I'm not going to sit here and act like that did not have an impact just because the Titans won that game by a freaking point. But rest assured, they did win that game, and they are moving on to the next round of the NFL playoffs. So, with that being said, I will take my credit on that one. But the one game that I did get wrong, I did not predict the St. Louis Rams. Wow, I called them the St. Louis Rams. I mean the LA Rams. They played like the St. Louis Rams. To lose to the Atlanta Falcons, I was in love with the Rams team, and I should have known about this trap. It was a clear trap waiting for me, and I fell right into it. We're talking about a playoff experienced Atlanta team that was motivated off a disgusting loss last year in the Super Bowl. They had a bad taste in their mouth, and the young, upcoming, fresh Rams team that everybody was picking, it was just a perfect setup for an upset, and I should have known that. I went with my heart over my head, and I will not be doing that this week. So, with that being said, let's get on with it to my divisional round playoff predictions. I'll be going in order of the games as they take place. So the first game is the Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles, and this was going to be an incredible game until, of course, a few weeks back, Carson Wentz, the MVP, he was going to win the MVP award, folks. Okay, now it could go to Tom Brady or Todd Gurley, who knows, but Carson Wentz was running away with the MVP award. He goes out, tears his ACL. Now we've got Nick Foles at quarterback, okay? And Nick Foles hasn't been god-awful. 5 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in those 2 or 3 starts that he's had. But obviously this is a huge, huge drop-off for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I want to go into all the numbers, but really I cannot justify in any way picking the Eagles to win this game, especially after I just picked against the Atlanta Falcons. So Falcons fans, I know you guys have had a bad week. The entire state of Georgia has had a bad year, okay? After that Super Bowl meltdown and then the national championship game, when Alabama winning over Georgia, it's been rough, okay? But I'm not going to pick against you guys, so I'm on your side on this one. Atlanta wins this game. I'm telling you, Atlanta's defense is underrated. They held this Rams team to 13 points. That is pretty impressive. You got to give it up. So that I believe they can hold Nick Foles and company to a low total. I mean, I know they have weapons. You've got J.J., you've got Alshon Jeffrey, Nelson Aguilar, Zach Ertz is there. But like I said, I'm rolling with the Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones looked good. You got Mohamed Sanu. You got the two-headed monsters and Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Give me Atlanta to move on in this game and beat the Philadelphia Eagles 31-17. Let's move on to the next game. We have the Tennessee Titans at the New England Patriots. And, of course, this was my upset pick that I picked last week. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans. Shout out to my boy MJ Take over at Sports Fan Entertainment, who's a huge Titans fan, so I'm happy for him. Happy for all Titans fans, really, because, you know, obviously this team hasn't won in quite a while. I'm a Bears fan, in case you guys are wondering. Let's see when the Bears get in the playoffs. But it hasn't been as long as it had for the Titans, I believe. Let's talk about this game, and let's talk about the fact that New England is obviously the cream of the crop. Obviously, a lot of people are picking the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. So right off the bat, you could be like, "Five, save your breath, save your time. Titans going to lose this game," right? And I could be saying that, but I will say this, okay? I believe in Marcus Mariota. I really do. I am a huge proponent of Marcus Mariota. I think he has great potential in this league, and I believe in him in this game. The problem is I don't believe in the Tennessee Titans defense. Their defense is ranked 25th against the pass, 17th overall. Tom Brady can tear him up. Sadly, Marcus Mariota cannot play defense. Adoree Jackson plays defense for the Titans. That's going to be an issue. So for that reason, obviously, I have to roll with the New England Patriots here. I mean, you're talking about an upset. This is a freaking upset if the Titans beat the Patriots. And I'm not going to say it's impossible, but if it's not, it's damn near close to that. So I'm rolling with the Titans right here just because, like I said, their defense is very suspect. I trust Mariota, but I just don't trust their defense. The only way I can see the Titans somehow pulling off this game is if they literally just feed Derrick Henry and force him down the Patriots' throat, and Marcus Mariota plays mistake-free football, and they play a flawless game. But that's exactly what you have to be, flawless against the Patriots, because I do believe Tom Brady and company, with Gronk, with Deion Lewis, you've got Brandon Cooks, Chris Hogan could be back. With all those guys, it's going to be very difficult. And New England's defense, as bad as it was during the year, a lot of people don't realize that it's number 5 overall in terms of defense. So their defense has significantly picked it up. You add that to an explosive offense, and you've got a pretty easy prediction to make. I'm taking the New England Patriots in this game, 34-24. Move on to the next game, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this game is going to be a repeat matchup of Week 4 of the NFL season, in which the Jaguars won this game and won it handedly, 30-9. If you guys remember, that was a game Big Ben threw 5. Yes, count them up, 1, 2, 3, 5 interceptions. He got absolutely demolished on Twitter and social media. People thought he was washed up, and they were like, Ben is done and whatnot. And Big Ben obviously was very adamant after that game that was an outlier, and obviously it was. Big Ben picked it up later on in the year, but it just showed you at that point in the season how damn good this Jaguars defense really was, and it really is, okay? So this Jaguars defense, we know it's no joke. Second in the NFL, only behind the Vikings, okay? And they showed in the wild card game against the Buffalo Bills, held them to 3 points. Now, of course, it's the Bills offense. You went up against the hobbled Shady McCoy and Tyrod Taylor, who ended up getting banged up. So I'm not going to say, oh my God, that was so impressive in that sense. But we know this Jaguars defense is good. The problem is who you have at quarterback, and that's Blake Bortles, who had more rushing yards than passing yards, okay? So, for me, I look at a couple of things here. The Steelers are going to be motivated, Big Ben especially. I do not expect him to have a game like that. And that game, Le'Veon Bell was also neutralized to, I believe, under 50 rushing yards. Don't expect that to happen. The key for the Steelers in this game is going to have a balanced attack with Big Ben, with Le'Veon Bell, and kind of keep the Jaguars defense guessing. And you just know Blake Bortles will make a mistake or two and let you win the game. Now, obviously the Bills thought that too, but the Bills offense couldn't get anything going. And this offense is literally, like, you're comparing literally like a Ferrari to like a Fiat 500, okay, in terms of offense. The Steelers have the three, certainly the two best at their position pretty much in Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown, and you have a significantly good quarterback in Big Ben Roethlisberger. So obviously that's an upgrade over the damn Bills, okay? So I'm picking the Steelers to win this game. Like I said, it's going to set up as a revenge type of game for the Steelers. Big Ben's going to be motivated. The Jaguars' offense can't score. They just can't. If you're telling me their defense is going to score, then I might give you guys a shot. I'm talking to you Jags fans, okay? Your defense scored twice in that win over Pittsburgh. I can't expect Big Ben to have that game again. So I'm going with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm sorry, I'm not letting Blake Bortles win 2 playoff games. Are you kidding me? It's a lot to ask. It's going with the Steelers in this game, though it will be low scoring. I have to give respect to the Jaguars defense. It's going to be 21-10 Pittsburgh. Let's move on to the last game, and which I believe will be the most exciting game, actually. The Saints at the Vikings, okay? First and foremost, everybody should know this is going to be a dome game. I don't know if they will have the roof open or not, but this is in Minnesota. They have a dome now. This is not in cold weather, so keep that in mind. when you guys want to talk about this game, because a lot of people were hitting me up on Twitter saying, oh, Drew Brees can't play in cold weather. This is not going to be playing cold weather, okay? So, who do I have winning this game? Well, first and foremost, let's talk about the Saints. They looked very good against the Panthers. Their defense, not so much, but offensively, they did. And I needed that game against the Panthers for the Saints to show me something, not just from what they showed from the previous weeks, but something different. And what I mean by that is a Drew Brees type of game. Leading up until the playoffs, it had been Ingram and Kamara, the 1-2 running back punch, and we knew that the rushing attack for the Saints were probably the best in the NFL. But you needed Drew Brees to have that Drew Brees type of game to remind everybody that, hey, I'm still Drew freaking Brees. And he did that, and he showed everybody he still got some juice left in the tank. And that's very important because, like I said, in this game against the number 1 ranked defense, the Vikings defense is no joke, folks. This is the best defense in the NFL, though you could argue the Jaguars as well. It's between those two, really. They're going to make life a living hell for the New Orleans Saints. But the good things for you Saints fans is you guys have so many weapons, you just don't know which side to attack. It's kind of like the predicament the Jaguars are facing with the Steelers. You have Drew Brees, you got Michael Thomas with the passing attack. Tag in on the deep ball. You've got Ingram and Kamara. Ingram for short yardage, Kamara for passing downs, as well as rushing. And you've got freaking Josh Hill out here scoring at tight end. So the offense is extremely balanced. You have to basically pick your poison. And for that reason, I'm picking the Saints to win this game. Here's what I will say, though. I'm not going to disrespect the Vikings because Case Keenum has balled his absolute heart out. I've been very impressed with Case Keenum this entire season. And this Vikings team, I wish they had Dalvin Cook. These two teams faced off in week 1 and the Vikings won. But this is a very different team, both sides. And on both rosters, we're talking about Sam Bradford was the quarterback for the Vikings. Dalvin Cook was the running back. And if one of those two were still on the Vikings, I might pick them in this game. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with the New Orleans Saints, who basically are as balanced as you can be, and their defense is bend but not break, okay? And that's basically what I need. Again, it's kind of betting Drew Brees over Case Keenum because, like I said, Jerick McKinnon and Latavius Murray, I mean, I get the better quarterback. I get the better running backs. Potentially better receivers, though Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs have been absolutely incredible this season. So I don't want to take credit away, but I'm getting the better roster overall. I believe I'm taking the Saints in this game, 27-24. It's going to be close, folks. Going to be very close. So there you have it. Those are my picks for this weekend's games. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you guys agree, disagree. Let's talk football. Follow me on my social media. Link all down below for that. As always, do not forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.